rAVe Radio. With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K, and welcome to a Rants and Raves. We're going to talk all about education today, specifically both K through 12 and higher education and beyond, really. Joined with Daryl Krall, who is the National Sales Manager of Panasonic. Daryl, how are you?
Outstanding. Thanks for having me. Very excited to have a conversation today.
Yeah, and you are an education expert. Panasonic's been doing a lot behind the scenes to prepare for some new initiatives in and around education. I know that's a big focus of your market. And of course, this podcast is part of our relationship with you and Almo Pro AV. And of course, the E4 show coming up in just 2 weeks in Anaheim, California. If you want to find out more about that, go to e4experience.com. And Daryl, Panasonic will be there. I'm wondering if, one of the things I want to have you talk about is Project Moonshot, which I think a lot of people may not know about, that Panasonic's, that initiative specifically in and around education.
Absolutely. No, we're excited to do that. We just wanted to give kind of a high level overview of all the things that we're doing. We're very excited about 2022 and kind of this post-pandemic environment. But Gary, you're absolutely right. Panasonic's been in classrooms and conference rooms for probably over 50 years, and an enormous amount has changed in innovation and technologies and how we're teaching our students. So we've been improving the learning and work experience for the last number of years, specifically to get past us this challenge. And we're continuing to change how things get done. There's very few companies that have the number of different major components to improve and enhance collaboration and learning and really make that student experience better and, more importantly, improve the student learning achievement.
Yeah, and talk about Project Moonshot specifically.
Sure, absolutely. So we've been working with Dr. Sunny Magana for the last 2 years, in fact, even before the pandemic, and we're working with K through 12 and K through 20 organizations, higher education organizations. And what's interesting, it's a professional development subscription service that is wrapped around fundamentally starting with 3 workshops that are accredited workshops, and it enables educators to learn about the methodology and format in which you're using of the T3 framework. And there are workshops that are involved that Sunny Magana and his team are using to help educators teach better, as well as improve student learning achievement, like documented data supporting the fact that they're improving student learning achievement. So we'll send a couple of links here in this podcast, but it's this digital pedagogy where we're trying to shift education conversation from monologue to dialogue. And this is based upon 40 years of work with Dr. Sunny Magana, and Panasonic is partnering with Dr. Sunny Magana because it's really this pandemic slide that we're dealing with. And so Dr. Sunny Magana's team is his meta team. It's the Magana Education Teaching Advisors, and we're providing a free view workshop, which will put the link, make the link available for the T3 educational protocols for this online academy. And so once you become certified in the T3 framework, you can learn how to take those methodologies and apply it to any of the disciplines, whether it's K through 12 or higher education.
Yeah, and so this is an opportunity for educators to kind of learn more. Obviously, I mean, I teach in one of my classrooms at UNC actually has 2 giant Panasonic projectors throwing light all the way from the back of an auditorium to the front of an auditorium of about 350 students. I know that people know you make those projectors, but you've got some new products that you've come out with during the pandemic that people may not know that are specifically targeted at all different sizes of classrooms.
Absolutely. And that's really exciting. So we're very excited to announce the fact that we're launching our integrated approach for resellers of the Panasonic's next generation connected collaborative classrooms and video immersion. So a lot of the things that we've been doing with the Olympics for many decades and in theme parks and things like that, we're bringing that into the educational space to make that learning experience that much better. So we continue to grow our laser projector lineup. We've been doing this since 2012, longer than any other manufacturer who's still providing projectors today. But our new PT FRZ 50 and FRZ 60 series is that next generation. It's the successor to our very successful, most popular selling projector, the PT RZ 570, which features our solid shine projection. So this series of projectors is a single chip DLP projector with an optically sealed block that provides truly maintenance-free performance for over 20,000 hours to half brightness. And because 4K is becoming more of the educational environment, no matter what area you're in, we've introduced the new PT FRQ 50, which is a 5,200 lumen single chip DLP projector, 4K, and it's utilizing our quad pixel drive that provides unparalleled quality in a very compact chassis for classrooms. And for those,
you also have a bunch of new flat panels as well, and some pretty big ones.
We do, absolutely. I just want to end on one last, or two at last, of the LCD family. So our new PT VZ71 series is either a 5,000 to 7,000 lumen LCD projector, which is great for classrooms. And then we have an 8,000 lumen MZ880, which is either a 6,000 to 8,000 lumen projector with some short throw lenses, which are great for classroom spaces. But yes, Gary, in regards to our displays, we have a new series of CQ2 and EQ2 series, and those are between 43 and 86-inch displays, all 4K. The CQ is rated at 16.7 for commercial grade, and then the EQ is rated at 18.7.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, 16 hours a day, 18 hours a day. So for classrooms that you're only using part of the day, or if you're using digital signs, you'd want to use the longer, the 18-hour. And then what about the cameras? I mean, one part of your heritage is PTZ cameras. What are we seeing new with PTZ cameras, and what about auto tracking and some of those features?
Exactly. That's great. We introduced our first PTZ camera in 2008. So like with our laser projectors, we've been doing this a long time. We have three fundamentally new models or family of models, the new AW HE20 and UE20. And that basically is a very quiet, very smooth 4x digital zoom with multi-point connectivities of USB, 3G, SDI, and HDMI. And then we also have our new AW UE40 and UE50, which features our new direct drive system that offers a 24x optical zoom lens, NDI compatible, and wide angle lens of over 74 degrees. And then on the top of the food chain, if you will, is the AWUE80, which also features our new direct drive system with 4K and 60p performance. So the auto tracking, we have some auto tracking functionality in different cameras. We've got a full lineup of over 8 different models and types, and can talk about having, auto tracking in a software, in the camera, a combination thereof. So a lot of great flexibility, whether it's K through 12 or higher education.
So we're going to put links to all this in the description of the video cast here that we're doing with Daryl. And of course, they'll be at the Almo E4 here in a couple of weeks in Anaheim. If you haven't registered for that, go to e4experience.com. Of course, you can always go to almoproav.com, and we'll put links to all that in this as well. So if you're in California, Nevada, Arizona, you should definitely come. It's the biggest regional event in the country. In the United States that has to do with ProAV. The only thing bigger would be Infocom. Daryl, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and you have a great day.
Thanks, Gary. Just wanted to mention Panasonic is hosting the AVIXA accredited higher education webinar on March 24th. We'll put the link in there as well. And we have 5 higher education institutions talking in a roundtable for about an hour about a lot of these things that are happening in education. So we're excited to be there.
Yeah, we'll put a link into that as well. That's something, if you are in higher education, you should join, because you'll see your peers talking about their own challenges. So thank you very much for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you at the E4 Experience in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Thanks, Gary.